Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully you are having a good day so far. Ready or not, we are going to get this session in. There we go. All right, let's do it. So we have a Tuesday session today, which is our upper body strength as well as our cardio. Yay! So we're going to start off with a warm-up as we do best. We will not need any equipment for it, and then we will get into our strength exercises, which will need this here chair. I'm going to be using it for some rows with the support of my knee and my hand, some dips. I also have over here my 8-pound dumbbells and my loop bands, and also tucked underneath are my shoes. And I'm going to be putting these on for our conditioning work because we are going to be jumping around, but not quite yet because I don't feel like wearing them quite yet. So let's get you started with this warm-up, which starts with our arms out to the sides like this, palms facing down. We're going to start by drawing these small circles with our shoulders, moving our entire arm all the way through this 10 times total in one direction, and then we will stop and start going in the other direction, keeping them small to start. Again, palms face down, straight arms, warming up, waking up the shoulders and everything around them. Once we're done 10 and 10, we will start going in that first direction that we did, but now we'll make those circles as big as we can make them. So we'll try to get through the full range of motion that we have at this time in our lives, at this hour of the day, and we will see if we can get that a little bit bigger as we go through 10 in that direction. And then we will once again stop and go through 10 in that opposite direction. So our circles might be looking a little bit different. Some of ours might be a bit bigger, some might be a little bit smaller. It really depends on your mobility of your shoulders and how high you can reach your arms. Again, we have to keep the arms straight. So we'll just see where we are, what we got going on right now. Once you're done all of those, we will swing out our arms over and then under, going through 20 of these total, alternating what one goes up, what one goes down, and I'm going to open up our app and see what we got next. Yes, we do. Okay, so the next one is heading down onto the floor. Thread the needle is coming up next. Now this one's going to help us open up our mid-back, the upper back, the whole back, as well as our chest and shoulders. Hands and knees down here, shoulders stacked on the wrists, hips stacked on the knees. We'll take one hand and reach it through towards the opposite side. Exhaling and opening up towards the ceiling, trying to follow that hand with our eyeballs, both arms straight, and then we will go through 10 on each side. We've done this one many times. We follow it at least once a week, so hopefully you're feeling looser in it. The goal is to keep our legs and our hips completely still. We're just trying to move through that kind of mid to upper back area. So we shouldn't have any shifting in the legs. We'll go through this, again, working with whatever range we have. Same thing, some of us might be opening all the way up and looking right at the ceiling, whereas some of us might be looking at maybe the wall over there instead. So just work with what you got. We're not forcing anything. 10, and then 10, and then don't go anywhere because we have a couple more down here. As you know, Tuesdays we focus on push-ups. You get a little teaser there, which are a part of the menu today. And so we are going to do some specific stuff right now that is going to warm us up and prepare us specifically for these push-ups, because we know that they are quite demanding, and these ones are going to help activate the right muscles. So hands and knees still. We're going to pull the shoulders together, spread them apart, going through 5 reps of these total. Those 5 there are just so that you can figure out what's going on here. We're just moving through that upper back. Arms stay straight. Core is tight. We're not rounding or arching our back. Once you've done 5, we're going to plant our toes into the floor like this and pop off of our knees. So we're in an off-knee position, and see if we can get going through 10. So same thing, arms straight, moving through just the upper back. If you start to bend your elbows or you simply feel like you can't really do this one that well, just pop back down onto your knees, and then you can complete your 10 down here. This is the most important part, that shoulder blade movement. So we will make sure that we have that scapula or that upper back shoulder blades coming together and spread them apart. 10 of them. Okay, so once we're done, we are standing up to the top to go through the next couple. We have some wrist circles going on here. So with this one, we'll make a fist in the hands, and we'll try to circle the wrist through the full range of motion, bringing that hand towards the forearm, and then again, just circling around, both at a time. We'll go through 5 one way, and then 5 the other. And then the last one that we have going on, we're going to take our sweet time with it because it's all about our neck, okay? We have to be careful with the neck, especially this hour of the day when it's early, when we haven't really done too much to kind of warm up these muscles. So what we're going to do is start off by tucking our chin towards our chest, and then we'll slowly turn the ear towards the shoulder, looking up towards the ceiling, working with a comfortable circle in that neck, ear to opposite shoulder, back to the chin tuck. Once we get here, we'll stop and go in the opposite direction. We'll go all the way up, looking up to the ceiling, whoop, 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 all the way down, taking our time. Once we get back here, that was one. I want you to do that 2 more times. So we're going all the way around and working with a nice, comfortable range. It shouldn't feel pain. We should feel maybe a bit of tension on both sides. And then we'll stop. Go all the way back, taking our time. Okay, so 2 full rotations total. I know I just did 3, that was a little confusing. I meant 2 more times. Once you're done, again, we'll just kind of relax. You want to roll out your shoulders. If you want to shake out your arms. Okay, grab yourself a quick sip of water if you would like. Hopefully you're feeling warm and ready to go. Now, I've already told you, we're starting off today with push-ups as we do best because our constant goal is to try to improve our push-ups and try to get stronger at them, whether it's stronger at the same number that we can already do or whether that's adding more to our max push-up number. Okay, so we're doing something a little bit different today, which is going to be quite challenging for some of us, okay? Because today we're going to be talking about our narrow grip push-up. So the normal push-up is in this sort of A position with those elbows out on a 45 like so. What we're going to be doing today is half of our reps in this position here, this narrow grip, which tucks in the arms, puts more emphasis on the triceps, which are a smaller and weaker muscle than our chest muscles, which are still working, but not as much as if I was in my normal push-up position, okay? So this is why this, for most people, okay, unless you do these all the time, these are going to be much more challenging. So what we're doing today is 5 reps right up in here. And then right after we do that, we're going to widen up our hands and do 5 reps in our normal push-up position. After we complete those, we will have a set of our band pull-aparts, standing up here using either your loop bands or your long band, and then we will be repeating 4 sets total of this very fun stuff. So what we're going to do is, again, need your band. If you need to grab it, bring it out. We are headed down onto the floor right away to start these push-ups. Now, right off the bat, I want to give you a little disclaimer, because I know that for some of us, 5 narrow grip push-ups, if I was to ask you to just do them on the floor like this, that might be impossible, and that's completely fine. So you have a couple of options. If you're good there, if you can do these 5 in this narrow position, you can go ahead and start your first set. But if you try it and it's not happening, or you just know that it's probably not happening, we can do a couple of things. 3 things, rather. First thing is elevating our push-up. So we can use our back of our couch, something to lift up our countertop, something stable, something to lift up the floor, which is going to make this push-up feel a lot easier. So I've done that before off the side of the couch here. That is first option. Second option is to do our lowering. So we lower in the narrow, and then we use the knees on the way up, and then we reset onto the toes. You can do your 5 like this, okay? Last option is strictly knees. So we want to make sure our hips are down in this strong plank position, and then we can go through our 5 knee push-ups like this, and then you can widen up your hands, pop up onto your toes, and see if you can get 5 of your normal push-ups, okay? Same rules apply for those normal ones. If we get there and they are not happening, we can do any of the above, whether it's those lowering with the knees on the way up, or if it's really, not happening, then strictly knees is okay, because these narrow push-ups, we don't do them that often. I'm kind of forcing you into them today, and your body might be like, whoa, these are really hard. And so we're going to make them possible for you to get 5 so that you can get stronger at them. So let's get those done, which you're probably already done. Once you're finished, you're going to stand up and get some band pulls. So I'm using 2 of my loop bands. I have this medium strength one, this kind of stronger one, And I'm going to wrap them together like this to create this long band. We can also use a little something like this, or the band with the handles on it, as we are going to be working with a band pull apart. So I'm going to use this one here, holding one side in each hand, like so, straight arms out in front of me. I'm going to relax my shoulders, and then I'll pull that band apart, stopping before it hits my chest, and then stopping before it goes all loose like this. I want to keep it tight and tight. So we'll go through 10 reps total of these band pulls. Now, if you do not have a band, what you're going to do is get yourself hip width apart in the feet, soft knees, nice bent over position, thumbs up, and we'll work with this guy here, this reared out fly, using our body weight and gravity to work the back of the shoulders. So we'll really make sure that we are bringing those shoulder blades together, just as practiced in that warm up there. And we'll go through 10. Once we're finished 10, we do have some rest. So don't get too keen on starting your second set right away. We are going to take that 30 to 45 seconds of rest right now. We'll keep it under a minute, but we'll take some time to rest, which you'll probably feel like you need, okay? Because we are combining very similar stuff here, from the narrow to the normal push-ups, right into those band pull-aparts. These guys, these band pull-aparts are really helpful because they ensure that everything in our upper back is active and working between our sets of these push-ups, as those muscles do play quite a big role. So what we can do in our next couple sets, what I would like you guys to think about, might help you, might make it a little bit harder as we're involving more muscles, but overall, this is proper technique and it will help you in the long run, even though it might feel a little harder today. But what we can think about on our next 3 sets, because we have to do 3 more, okay? On the way down, this goes for the narrow and the wide. What we want, as we're lowering down, we want to squeeze those shoulder blades together. So just like we practiced in the warm-up, how we did that scapular retraction like this, as we lower into the push-up, we're trying to squeeze those shoulders. Then as we push ourselves off the floor, we're trying to spread the shoulders. And if you can do that, you're going to have all those muscles in your upper back assisting and helping out your push-up. If you're not doing that, and if they're just kind of, hanging out, and they're kind of just like dead back there like this, they're not really doing much in comparison to kind of squeezing and moving like this, then you're not going to have them help. And overall, you're going to be relying just on like your chest and your triceps. And it is not as strong as a technique as us kind of thinking about that squeeze. Okay, so hopefully you've already started. I know I kind of talked a little bit too much for your rest there, if you're watching me. So let's get going on our next set. If you have not already begun, we have 3 more to go. And then we are done the push-ups for today after these 3 sets. So between your rounds, once you're finished with band pulls, again, we'll grab some water and walk it off. Think about how strong we feel in our push-ups, hopefully. There we are. All right. So we will get the second round done. Taking our time with it. Okay, and then we shall rest. We have 2 more sets to go. And we'll take this time right now. Let our upper body muscles just kind of chill out for a little bit here. Again, we will try to keep it under a minute so that we can get through 2 more rounds in the next about 4 minutes. 4 to 5 minutes left in this part. For the push-ups, which we're getting done all right away. Sometimes we have some at the beginning, some at the end, or sometimes later on down the road. But today, we are getting them all done right here, right now. Okay, so enjoy them while they last, or just kind of bear with us and get yourself through them. Remember that these narrow grip push-ups, if you can do these, they are, again, more tricep focused. They're overall going to help you get stronger at your normal ones, okay, which is why we're throwing them in. We're kind of switching it up a little bit, tweaking the position of our hands, which is going to challenge ourselves, which you feel, okay? So that's why we're here. But the nice thing is you only have to do 5 of them. Nice thing. They're still really hard. Okay, so we'll get through our third round. You have about 3 minutes to finish up this one as well as the last one. Okay, so pretty much just enough time. Hopefully you have already started, not you are thinking about starting that third set. Okay, so we'll finish up here. And trying to take our time, especially with these band pulls. We want to feel all those muscles in our upper back. So if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can either hold your band closer. So rather than holding the edges, I can kind of hold a little bit in here like this. And that is going to be a lot more challenging. Maybe too challenging. Kind of find the sweet spot. Or you can pull out and hold and pause, as we know that those pauses always make these strength movements more challenging. All right, let's get it. The last set, last couple sets. Maybe you're finishing up your third. Let's get it done. 5 and 5, 10 push-ups total. It's surprising how much more challenging our normal ones feel after doing those narrow ones. But they're also probably possible. Right? Because we normally do more than 5 to 10 push-ups. We've been kind of working upward into those like minute-long rounds that we've done. Don't worry, we're not doing that today. But that kind of stuff, hopefully you're feeling strong down there, especially on those normal ones. Okay, so we're going to take just about 2 minutes under that to finish up. So if you have not started your final set, then you probably should start pretty soon here. In the next about 30 seconds so that we can get through this last set of these ones and be done our push-ups. Great news. Now, as you are finishing up this part, something that I did forget to mention at the very beginning of the class is that we do have the option to use some different equipment other than the stuff that I am using here. TRXs, if you have them, if you would like to set them up, hang them up, and use them for the next part, we are going to be working with some rowing type exercises as well as our anchored bands. So we can attach our long band, handled band, or loop band to something, anchor it, and then pull against that anchor point, okay, which I'm not going to be using today, but if you don't have dumbbells, those are wonderful options that you could use. So just about 1 minute, you should be almost done, if not finished already, and if you are done, you can grab yourself some water. Woo! Check it out, roll it out. Hopefully you feel good. I know you feel kind of good though, because you know you're done with push-ups, and that's always a good feeling. Yes. So what we're going to do is move on to the next part, which will be using this here chair. We are going to be working with 2 exercises using this bad boy right here. The first one is a back exercise. We're going to be working with that supported 1-arm row. So I'm going to grab both of my dumbbells, bring them over here, and use them for this first part here. So what we want in terms of our setup, again, is a bench, a chair, something like this. If you don't have something like this, that's completely fine. You don't actually need it. I will show you guys the option here on the next set that does not require this chair. But if you do have it, then I want you to set yourself up like this. We're going to hold our weight, and I have both of my dumbbells stacked one on top of the other. My knee is supported, my hand is on here, my back is nice and straight, and I'm going to pull into this narrow grip position, going through our reps, 15 of them per side. So we have 15 over here. We're trying to pull the shoulder behind my ear, 15 on the other side. So we can start this first set whenever you're set up, whenever you are ready. Let's get it going on. Okay, so like I said, TRXs, if you would like to use those as an option, we can go through the same row. Okay, and this is a good opportunity for you to see where your elbow is going. We want to make sure the arm's not rubbing against the body. We're pulling slightly in and around the rib cage. That's going to allow us to get the most use of this big back muscle, which is what we want on this one. So let's get it going on. 15 over here, and then 15 on the other side. For those of you who are without chair or without bench, we can go like this. Bent over position. We can take this hand and either put it on a wall, Okay, I'll actually turn to this one so you're not standing on my butt like this. Okay, or we can put it on our leg. And that's going to help give us that same support as we had on the chair for our core and our low back so that we can get the most focus on those lat muscles, those big ones that run down the sides of our back. So 15-15, let's do it. Starting our first set of these ones. We're going to pair this one with another upper body exercise, although we have a different focus in it. We are going to be doing a dip on our chair, on our bench. Hello, yes. 15 reps is our count for these dips. So once you're finished those rows, we'll put down the weights, have a seat on our chair, our bench, have a seat on our thumbs. You can kind of walk your hands in so they're nice and narrow. Hips are off the bench, but stay close. And then we'll lower ourselves down to 90 degrees and push ourselves up. Straight legs is harder. Bent legs is easier. So you be your own judge. Find yourself that sweet spot that makes 15 feel extremely challenging. Okay, so let's go through that set. Once we're finished those rows, right into the dips. For those of you who, again, do not have a chair, we have a couple of different ways we can do this. Wall tricep extension, probably my favorite way. Going down like this, pushing ourselves up like this. Okay, we can also sub in and use our TRX. Okay, which we have to be standing maybe a little bit more upright for, but that is another option that you can do. So let's get it. Triceps. 15 of them. Okay, now, because of the dynamic of these two movements, we have different focuses. First one is that back focus. The second one is that tricep, a little bit of chest focus on those dips. So we do not need to take much rest, if any, between these sets. Okay, we have 3 more rounds, rows, dips, 15, 15, and then 15, these ones. We'll try to go back to back between these exercises and between these sets, taking little to no rest. If you need to take any, it'll be once you're finished your dips. Okay, that's your time. You can grab a quick sip of water on your life for a quick memento, but there is no prescribed rest. Okay, so try to keep it definitely under 30 seconds. And then we will try to get going through our next few sets. Okay, so you've probably already started your second. So let's get into it. Rowing our way into our second set in 15-15. Now, because we're working with a higher rep range, that 15 on both sides, you might feel this quite a bit in your back, okay, just because of the amount of reps that we're doing. But keep in mind that that is important, that you are feeling it back here. If you are not, then we need to do something to make you feel it back there. So pauses are the most effective thing that I have found in our rows, especially for our back muscles, that help us really feel them back there. So that's something that you can incorporate here. We're not really getting it going on back there. On your next set is as we pull in those dumbbells or that dumbbell, we can hold it in here and not just like hold it in, but be very active with our shoulder and try to pull that shoulder back behind our ear. Hold it there. We can go through that through our 15 reps, maybe even a little longer hold towards the beginning and then it gets shorter because then we're getting that feeling. I'm always talking about this mind to muscle connection, ensuring that you are getting the most out of these exercises. And so it's just important. So let's get it going on. Okay, you have 2 more sets to do it. So we'll go right from those rows into the dips. There we go. Perfect. Okay, very nice. How we doing? So good. All right, so we will get through the second set. Okay, so going right into our third. We have 2 more to go on these 2 with about 5 minutes to get them done. There's plenty of time to do them. So a couple ways that I did not talk about that hopefully you just presumed that you can do if you do not have dumbbells. I'll undo this band, there we go. We can use our loop bands in this same kind of anchored position. You can also use a long band, okay? The loop bands, I find they're just a little bit more safe because they kind of go underneath our foot, whereas those long bands, we kind of have to step on them, and sometimes our foot can slip up and then the band comes out, and you can just, you know, use your imagination on what happens when the band comes out. It's going to smack you somewhere. And so this band is just, again, it's a little bit safer because it goes underneath the foot, and then it's in that nice anchored position, and we can go through this one arm row. The nice thing too is we can add maybe 2 bands or 3 bands, and it's going to make it feel just that much heavier, and they're a great option if you don't have dumbbells, or maybe you only have like a very cute light set of dumbbells, or maybe like a light set and then a really heavy set, and this is too heavy for the rows, too light for the rows. And so the bands, they're a really good option if you're kind of in that scenario, because they can kind of fill that middle point very efficiently, and they don't take up much space, and they're not expensive. All right, so let's get through our third set. We have 1 more to go. We have about 4 minutes, which is plenty of time, my friends, to finish this up. So we will get through and take our sweet time. Okay, do not rush through these sets. I know you're going to want to, especially those dips. You're going to want to just get them done, but just take your time. Remember that 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up is our normal tempo. Now, something I really briefly want to touch on with those dips, for those of you who are doing them, is wrist safety, because sometimes, and I've had some comments from you guys, is that sometimes we feel some pressure and some tension in our wrists. Very simple. All you have to do to ensure that that's not happening is make sure that your hand is very close to the edge of the bench or the chair. Because if it's too far in like this, now my wrist is going to be bent into this angle like so. Whereas if I'm on the edge, I can keep my wrist more straight and kind of wrap my hands underneath the chair or on the edge of the chair like this. And overall, I'm going to have a much more comfortable set on my wrist, like so. Whereas if my hand was back here, you can already see that it's not very comfortable. It doesn't feel good. Okay, so that might just be the little adjustment that you need in order to not feel these guys as much. Get a weird pop-up. There we go. Okay, so let's take that into our final set of these ones. We have 3 more movements. Yeah. After this, 3 more exercises for our strength. And then we are going to move on to our conditioning. We're going to put our shoes on. We're going to jump around. And then feel really good because we'll get that nice endorphin release. And yeah, we're done. Woo, what we've been waiting for. But we are halfway there right now. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes. So if you have not started that final set, that 4th set, let's get it going. Doing it up for our last round of these rows and these dips. Final set. Okay. So as we are finishing up, okay, because I see that some of you are already kind of done. What we're going to do for the next part is move this chair or this bench out of the way, because we will not be needing it at all for the next part or for the last part. So if it is movable, if it's not fixed, if it's kind of taking up some space, then I would suggest getting it out of your way so that you have the space and not the chair or the bench. We will be using our dumbbells and our bands for this final part, as well as the option for that TRX if you have it set up, if you want to use it. Okay, and of course our anchor band as well. So, okay, so we should be done? Yes, yes we are. All right, so let's move on to the final part here, which is going to be 3 movements. We're going to do them circuit style, back to back to back, kind of similar to what we did in that last superset there. back to back with no rest in between the exercises and no rest in between the sets. I'm going to have you guys on an AMRAP timer, as many rounds as possible. We're going to be doing this for 10 minutes, these 3 movements, and you are just going to go through them, not worrying about how many sets that you get, but just kind of worrying about taking your time with the movements and really feeling these exercises, okay? So what I'm going to do is show you this first one, which is our wide grip rows, okay, which we are nowhere near new to. We've been here many times before. I'm going to be using my dumbbells, hip width apart of my feet, soft knees, bent over position, and I pull in and wide, okay? We'll be going through 10 reps of these ones like this. So you can start your first set with me here now. I'm going to press start on this timer. Where is it? And let's do it. Okay, 10 minutes has started right now. Let's go. Okay, so this is our first movement, our wide grip rows. So again, if you have the TRX, we're holding our hands, palms facing down, pulling into that wide grip position, just as I was doing in this bent over position here. So we'll go through those 10 total. Second movement is going to be our tricep kickback. So if you're using dumbbells, if you'd like, you can stand up, okay, or you could do this down in that same position, but we want to be in the same stance, same soft knees, same hips back. We're going to pull in narrow like this and work with these kickbacks, and we'll be doing 12 reps total. So I know I'm wearing all black here, but we got 90 degrees at the elbows, and then we push those arms and kick them back as straight as we can. So we'll work through 12 reps of those ones. If you're working with bands instead of dumbbells, we can hold one side of the band in each hand, and then we'll just kick one arm back, counting out those. Again, you can go through 6 per side to make it 12. All right, so that's our second one. Last one, no equipment needed. We are headed down onto the floor into our Superman position. Hello, on a Tuesday. We're going to get our arms into this W position. So I want this 90 degrees, and then I want to pull it in a bit. Pull my shoulders down. What we're going to do is lower the hands and the front of our shoulders down onto the floor. And then we want to pull just the shoulder blades together, which brings the arms up. So we lower down, and then we lift up. We have 15 reps total, this W Superman. So legs stay down, feet stay down, everything in the lower body, the hips stay down, just the upper body, even the chest stays down, just the shoulders come up and come down. If you want to make it harder, don't touch the floor. If you want to make it easier, do touch the floor, okay, between your reps. So we have 15 of those ones, woo, which really should be feeling up in there, up in that upper back. Once you're finished, again, I've told you what you're doing. You have that 10-minute time period in which you have 7.5 minutes left up, okay? So once you're finished, these guys down here, we are getting up and we are doing it again, okay? Back to the first one, our wide grip rows, all right? So for those of you who do not have dumbbells, you don't have a TRX, you have a band, okay? First option with the band is that we can attach it to something. I can put it onto a leg of a chair or table, something stable, maybe not a chair, table, a couch, something that's not going to move when we pull at it. The other option is simply holding the band wide like this and then pulling in like so. So we can also use a loop band or 2 loop bands together, and then just keep that tension on the band as we go through our 10 reps, those ones. There you go. So same rules apply if you are using this long band for those triceps. We can go through the same thing as we hold one side and I have it kind of wrapped and looped around so it's not hanging out and smacking me in the sides. And then we can go through this extension like so. All right, let's get it. So we'll work through this second set. Again, there's no rest. I haven't put any rest in. We're trying our best to go through these with no rest in between. But that being said, some of us might need to take some rest, okay? Because For some of us, these ones are going to be quite challenging, especially because, you know, that tricep one, maybe that W, Superman, those ones are relatively new to us. We've been there before, but we don't do them kind of on a regular basis. And so they might be kind of waking up and using some different muscles that we normally use. You might be getting to the end and being like, wow, I am feeling it back there, okay? And if that's the case, then you can just take a second if you want to roll out your shoulders, swinging out our arms. That movement helps. It helps to disperse that burning feeling, that lactic acid, that burning sensation. So if you're getting that, a couple of these might help you between your sets, okay? Some water, some deep breaths, and then we will try to go into the next round, okay? And that is completely on you. Be your own judge. You have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to be specific, okay? So quite a bit of time to get through at least 2 more rounds. And we are looking at anywhere between 3 to 5 sets, okay? You might get 3, maybe if you're taking a bit more rest, maybe you're going slower in your exercises, or you might get 5 if you are not taking any rest and you are getting her done. Trucking through with no time in between. It really comes down to you and your body, and sometimes your mind state, because sometimes, you know, our head, our brain thinks that we are done, thinks that we can't keep going, or thinks that we need rest, and that's okay. All right, 4 minutes to get this done. So we will go through our 3. There it is. Okay, so 10, 12, and then 15. Those W Superman. So as we're doing those ones, I'm going to show you the standing here. It's a little awkward to see down on the floor. But what you can do is lay down on the floor. Make sure your feet are down, your legs are down, everything is down, hips down. That's going to ensure that your core is tight and that you don't feel too much pressure in your lower back. So if we're lifting our legs, if our hips are kind of pushing up like this, then we're going to feel this, which I do not want for you, okay? What I want for you is your upper back, okay, between the shoulder blades. So what we want to think about is 90 degrees, and do a little shoulder check when you're laying there on the floor. Find that 90 degrees, and then what we want to do is pull in. You can even make a fist in your hands if it helps you, and pull your shoulders down to the floor like this. Okay, so hands can be like this or like this, whatever makes you feel tighter back here. And then as we go down, we want to let those shoulders come forward, spread the upper back, and then squeeze the upper back. So very similar to what we were doing in both that warm-up movement, that scapular retraction, and then also we talked about it a lot in our push-ups. So we'll see if we can really get that going on here. Where am I? Going through this one, okay, in that Superman. Just about 3 minutes to do our thing on these 3. And then we are done this part. We have a nice sweaty circuit. It's kind of short and spicy today. And then we are here, finished, free to go. So, yeah, 2.5 minutes. And yep, last part is a 15-minute burner. Perfect. And I am just making sure our timer is set. And it's not. All right. So, time with it. We have, let me set this here. Thank you guys for being patient with me and my interval timer that always resets itself. There we go. Okay, so we'll go through 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. We will have about 1 minute, not a lot of time, between when this timer goes off and when we press start on the timer for our intervals for the final part here. Excuse me. So if you would like, as I tell you, you are finished. If you are still kind of within one set, if you want to finish that set and complete the set, that's okay, because we will have about 1 minute of buffer time in between now and the next one, okay? And you have 1 minute left on here. So maybe just pace yourself so that you can finish up whatever exercise you're doing right now or that entire set within the next minute. Okay. So, the last part, coming at you hot. In about 30 seconds, we're going to start talking about it. Woo-wee. There we go. All right, so 15 more seconds, my friends, to get this done. As you come to an end, again, the final part here, we are going to be jumping around. So I've taken my shoes out because I'm going to put them on for this last part so that I have support for my ankles and my knees and my hips. And the timer is done. It's a very quiet alarm, but it did go off. Okay, so what you're going to do right now is grab yourself a quick sip of water if you would like. We are going to clear out some space because that is the most important thing that we are going to need for this final part. We're working off of a timer. We have 4 exercises that we are going to complete. 3 sets total of these movements, okay? 1 minute on each of them, 60 seconds for each of the 4 exercises, and then we will have a 60-second rest period, okay? Once we're done that minute rest, we'll complete our next round, and we'll do that 3 times total, okay? Again, we do not need any equipment. We're just using the best piece of equipment, our body, okay? And we want our mat down so that we have you know, that little bit of softness as well as some reference points on each side. So what we're going to do, 1 minute, starting off with this first one. We're going to have invisible ball slams coming at you hot for that first minute. Okay, so welcome back. It's been a little bit since we've done these. We're going to have that invisible ball in our hands, squat stance in our feet, and we are exhaling down and slamming that air as hard as we can. That's the first one. Second one are going to be our in and out jacks. So I'm going to jump my feet in and out like this with my arms down by my sides, or if you want, we can go full on jumping jack, okay? But at this point, maybe you just want to rest your upper body on your shoulders, which is why we're just doing the feet jacks. That is our second one, okay? And of course, I'll come back to these. Third one is lunge jumps, which we will talk about when we get there, which look a little something like this. Wee, woo. And then the last one is going to be our lateral butt kick jog, okay, where we're going to be butt kicking ourselves from one side of the mat to the other. So we're going to get all those done. Starting right now with those invisible ball slams. Get ready, get set. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's do it. First round, first exercise. Let's go. So we're trying to get our butt down there, okay, 90 degrees. Exhaling on the way down, trying to slam the arms down. Be intentional so that you have a fast, explosive down phase and a little bit more control on the up phase. 30 seconds left. Now, most of us have done ball slams in real life, even with me probably. So you know that you have to throw that thing and chuck that ball extremely hard with a lot of power in order to get it to come back up to you or even just be able to grab it again. And so that's what I want you thinking about right now is using your breath because that's your power on the way down. Exhaling, trying to be explosive. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, and right into the next one. So we're going to have those feet a bit wider than our hips. And we'll be working with our in and out jacks. So you can just keep your arms here by your sides. Again, we're doing this rest of the upper body rather than moving the arms for a reason, okay? Because we're allowing to kind of rest everything up here. We did a lot of work up in the upper body, shoulders, upper back today. And so we're just going to rest those guys. If you're low impact, we can work with a little something like this. That being said, if you do want to make this more challenging and involve that upper body, well, then you go for it. You can move the arms into your standard jumping jack. Okay, 20 seconds left on these ones. Right here. Jumping around. 10 seconds, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, and you can turn to the side so you have some space behind you. We'll step back into the lunge, and we'll try to jump and switch our arms and our legs. If you are low impact, we can just do step back lunges, or if you want to kind of speed it up, we can kind of stay low and just tap our foot like this, okay? It's going to be a little bit less challenging on the legs, but still give you that cardio aspect as we're moving a little faster than just normal lunges, okay? Whatever you want to do, something along the lines of what I just showed you. 30 seconds left, okay? So pace yourself, and remember, we are doing 3 sets total, okay? So this one, 2 more rounds, fin, yes. 15 seconds. Very nice, very nice. 3, 2, 1, and the last one is going to be that butt kick jog. So we're going to butt kick ourselves, moving our arms and our feet all the way down one side of the mat. Once we get down here, we'll start to go all the way back the other side of the mat. Okay, again, if you're low impact, we can just work with in place and a butt kick jogging ourselves. You can add a little bit of traveling into it as well if you'd like. Switch it up. The other option, this one, if you do want to crank it up a notch and make it more challenging, is altogether subbing this butt kick for a high knee. Okay, so you know that that is going to be a lot more challenging, and some of us might want that for ourselves. So feel free to do that high knee instead of the butt kick. 15 seconds left. Let's go. You can even do a little combo, right? You can do butt kick, high knee, something like that. 5 seconds left into our rest period. Ready and rest. Okay, so the next 60 seconds is for you to rest, to recover, to regroup. Okay, so walk it off because you're probably feeling quite hot and heavy. I'm not even full on doing these with you, and I'm already kind of out of breath just from showing you them. So you are probably very out of breath, okay? So just take your time to take these breaths and to move, because sitting and standing still, we know our body doesn't really like that so much, especially when we're here to move, we're here to get this conditioning work in. So we'll try to just pace around the room. Drink your water if you have it. Okay, deep breaths. Overall, try to just control that breathing. We're going into our second set. So 15 more seconds here until we start our second round. Back to the first one, invisible ball slams. Are you ready? Ready or not? 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So I'll try our best to keep our core tight. We've talked about this before, how we want to avoid arching our back like this. We want to think about bringing the ribs and the pelvis together, so we're getting a bit of a crunch in that core. And the more we can do that, especially up here, you're going to feel this working the entire time, getting that little sneaky core work in here. But if you're not thinking about it, kind of just letting it all hang out, letting the ribs flare out, you might feel some pressure in your low back and nothing in your core. And that's not very good. 20 seconds. So we'll try to tighten it up. Think about our abs. Oh yeah. Okay, we only have to do this one more time. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we'll go into our jacks. Whoop, 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 whoop. So we'll work through these ones and trying to move our feet as fast as possible. The nice thing about not moving your arms in this jumping jack is that we can actually increase our speed of how fast our feet are moving, because we don't have to like move our arms, which is actually surprisingly tiring. You don't really realize it. But by moving just the feet, maybe we can step our feet in and out a little bit faster than we normally would if we were also moving our arms. Maybe 25 seconds for you to find out, for you to see if you can get it going a little faster. Okay, let's go. Woo-hoo. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and right into our lunges. Yes. So we're trying our best to land as soft as possible. We want to make no noise, trying not to shake the ground or stomp the ground when we land, but rather absorb the shock and land soft. And that is not only important for like the other people in your house potentially or underneath you, but more important is for your joints, for the knees, for the hips, for your ankles. By landing soft, we're going to avoid that jerky stopping situation, which your joints do not like. All right, so if you can't land soft, then maybe just sub in for step back lunges, because it can be hard to do, especially as we start to get tired. And we have to do it for a minute. We have 10 seconds left. I think you can. Come on. 3, 2, 1, and all right. Nice work, you guys. Last one is going to be our butt kick jog. How could you forget? Just kidding. You didn't forget probably. Let's go though, because there's no rest time. That was your starting beat. And it has already started. So let's keep it going here. 40 more seconds. Woo! So once we're finished, this one, we'll have our minute rest. Okay, so it's something to look forward to. Something for you to think about right now when you're pushing yourself extra hard. For the next 30 seconds is that you need to earn that minute-long rest. Okay, we don't want you getting into that rest and feeling like, oh, I could have kept going on that butt kick or on that high knee. Okay, so whatever it is that you're doing right now, let's try to crank it up so you're feeling extremely uncomfortable right now. Okay, 10 seconds left. Let's find it. Yep. 3, 2, 1, and now we can rest for a minute. And then we have our final set. And then we are done on this Tuesday. Done for the day. If you're watching the replay, whatever day it is, we will be done. Okay, but take this rest right now. Again, moving helps. Breathing helps. Water helps. So we'll do all those things for the next 30 seconds. Hopefully you're feeling good. 20 more seconds here. Okay, you need to get yourself mentally prepared for this final set. Starting off with the last round. First one, our invisible ball slams. Get ourselves set up. Come on over here. Ready or not, timer is starting. Ready, set, and go. Let's go. Last round of these, guys. So we'll try to exhale every single rep, okay? And by the time you are finished this minute, we do not want to be able to do any more ball slams. So let's try to build up every rep. Every time you chuck that air down, you explode down into that ball slam. Thinking about that exhale and thinking about making it stronger than the last one. So let's see if we can kind of do that and progressively build up. So by the time this timer goes off, you are the strongest at chucking the air that you've ever been. 20 seconds left. You use your legs. Get your butt down there. Stand all the way up. Think about catching yourself at the bottom so that we're not bottoming out. 10 seconds left. Excuse me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. On to the next one. Our in and out jacks. Let's go. Okay, so lower body, jumping those feet in and out. Again, trying to make them faster. If it helps to kind of look down and watch your feet, sometimes that will help with you controlling them so that they're not just kind of flailing all over the place. So let's do it. And if one don't impact, try and move quickly. Same intensity as if we were jogging. 30 seconds left. This is indeed the home stretch, my friends. We have 2 more after this. And then we are done. 15 seconds right here. Okay, move those feet. Jump them faster. Can you move faster? Maybe. But you gotta try. There it is. Let's go. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Lunges. Let's do it. Okay, last set of them. Oh, and I know we put them in here the day after leg day for a reason, okay? It's going to help you loosen up your legs, whether you like it or not, whether it feels like it or not. They're probably burning, okay, especially the quads in the front here. But we'll try to get through this and pace ourselves, okay? Because these ones are definitely one that can creep up on you really quickly and might make you feel like you need to stop and you can't keep going. So if you're feeling like that, then just do the low impact one. Okay, you can either do the one where we tap back like this, or just simply stepping back into our lunges. 15 seconds left. Let's go. Second last one. There it is. 3, 2, 1. Last one, our lateral butt kick jog. So let's work it out for the last 60-second round. We are going to have lots of time for rest after this. 2 full minutes of rest. Plus, I will leave you guys with a few stretches, okay? But this is it for the work. All of it. We've done it all. This will conclude our cardio. Okay, but you have to push yourself. Because again, we want you feeling like you actually need to rest, okay? Like if I asked you to keep going when this timer goes off, you couldn't because you pushed yourself so hard right now. So if you need to do the high knees in order to get that feeling going, which is why they're an option, then do them, okay? 20 seconds left. Let's go. Let's do it. Strong finish here. 10 seconds. Come on now. Don't give up on us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you, my friends, are extremely done. So what we're going to do right now is just rest, okay? We have 2 minutes on this timer here running. That is just time for you to rest, recover, cool down. So we can do the exact same thing that we did within that minute between our sets. Moving, okay? Water, breathing. All those things are going to overall help us calm down and come back to more of a normal level, and that is where we want to be before we start stretching, okay? Because again, your body, it doesn't like to just get, so worked up and the cardio going and your heart rate up and everything's working and then just stop, okay? It actually can be quite unsafe to do that, which is why we always want to keep moving once we're done, and rather than just like sitting down or laying down on the floor, as tempting as that sounds. And so overall, that is going to help your heart rate come down. So are those deep breaths. If we're taking kind of shallow breaths like that, that's not going to allow us to calm and get that oxygen in there, which is what we need right now. So take the deep breaths, try to send that air into your tummy, and just overall, it's going to help you calm down much more efficiently and safely than that other stuff. Okay, so once you feel normal, like if I asked you what you were doing today and you could actually tell me without huffing and puffing, then you can join me on these stretches. I'm going to leave you with them today. There's 3 of them. The first one's for the chest and the shoulders, and it could start like this if you want to do it while you're still cooling down. If you're a little short on time today, places to be and people to see after this class, then you can start to go like this. If you have a bit more time to dedicate to stretching, then you can find yourself a door frame or a corner in your house like this, and then you can just hold this position here 60 seconds, my friends. Okay, so that goes for the reaching one or this one. You can also do one side at a time, which we've talked about before. Same thing, 1 minute on each side. Okay, that minute is going to give you the most benefit, and this one's really important to do because it helps us open up our chest and overall promote good posture, which is something that we all want. We're all working on. So that's the first one. The second one is for your back. You can find something to hold on to, TRX, door handle, back of the couch, something stable. You can use this bookshelf. And then we just hold on and lean back. And then we'll get that nice opening stretch through that back. Same thing here. If you have something that you can hold on to, then hold on to, or you can do one at a time. Okay, 60 seconds on that one there. Last one that we can do here today is actually down on the floor, and it's for that low and mid back, and it's a little something like this, okay? Now this one, we we do quite often, and we do it for a reason, because it's a really good one to help get us a nice loosening feeling in our back, lower back, upper back. So same thing here, we can spend about a minute. You can also maybe play around with a little bit of this cat-cow. We did this one yesterday. We know it feels good, okay? And if you have time, or if you want to make time rather, you can really do any other stretches that you want, because we have warmed up our body all over the place. And so if you want to throw in some lower body stretches, your hip stretches, whatever it is, feel free to add it in, okay? But you guys, you're done with me. Another one in the books. Thank you so much for you joining me in the Zoom room, hanging out with me. And if you watch the replay, or if you're watching it right now, then please drop a comment so that I know you were here. Have a great day, my friends, and I will see you all tomorrow, because we have a full body conditioning session. Okay, bye.